The little girl stood near the corner of the busy farmer's market, her small hands gripping a cardboard sign that read, "Puppy for sale, please help." The wind tugged at her worn hoodie, her shoes slightly too big for her feet, as she tried to stay brave. Behind her, sitting quietly in a torn blanket-lined basket, was a sleepy golden retriever pup with soft eyes and a wagging tail. A man in a tailored coat, sipping his overpriced coffee and scanning for fresh produce, stopped when he caught sight of the girl. Something about her made him pause. She looked no older than 6 or 7, skinny, with tired eyes that didn't match her youth. But it was her whisper, barely audible yet so sincere, that stopped him cold. "Please buy our puppy," she said softly. "We need money for rent, and food." His heart twisted. The man was Michael Grant, CEO of one of the city's biggest marketing firms. A powerful man with a reputation for results. The same Michael Grant who had, just last month, laid off over 24 employees during a brutal round of restructuring. One of them had been a single mother, quiet, punctual, reliable. She had begged him in her exit interview, "Please. I don't know how I'll feed my daughter." He hadn't remembered her name until now. But as he looked again at the girl's face, her eyes, her fragile frame, it hit him like a punch in the gut. This was her daughter. Michael crouched down, his voice cautious. "What's your name?" The girl hesitated, clutching the leash. "Lila." "And this?" He nodded to the puppy. "His name's Pancake," she said. "Mama says we can't keep him anymore. We have to sell him, or maybe the landlord will throw us out." Michael blinked. "Where's your mom?" Lila looked down. "She's at the soup kitchen. She said I could try here, 'cause people love puppies." He felt sick. Guilt, thick and rising, wrapped around his throat. Michael had fired her mother to save the company a fraction of a percent on costs, to please board members who hadn't set foot in the office in years. He'd told himself it was business, not personal. But now, staring into the face of the consequence, it was personal. It was a child. A family. A life unraveling. He couldn't just walk away. Michael asked Lila if he could sit with her for a while. She nodded. Together, they watched people pass by, some offering a smile, others pretending not to see. "Is your mom okay?" he asked carefully. "She cries a lot," Lila admitted. "When she thinks I'm asleep. She tries to be happy for me. But I know she's scared." Michael clenched his fists in his coat pockets. This was more than he had ever imagined. Layoffs were always framed as numbers, charts, spreadsheets, efficiency. But here it was, one of those numbers, holding a leash, trying to save her home by selling her best friend. The minutes passed. Then he stood. "I'll buy Pancake," he said. Lila's eyes lit up. "Really?" He nodded. "But there's one condition." She looked worried. "I want to meet your mom first," he said gently. That evening, Michael knocked on the door of a small apartment complex on the edge of town. Lila opened the door wide and called for her mom. When she stepped out, Michael saw the woman he remembered. Her name was Angela. Her face dropped in shock as she recognized him. Her voice trembled. "Mr. Grant. I owe you both an apology," he said without delay. "I made a mistake. A big one." Angela blinked, still stunned. "I let numbers make me forget that there are people behind every line on a spreadsheet. I saw your name and didn't think twice. I've regretted it every day since." She nodded slowly. "It's been hard." Michael looked around the small apartment, sparse furniture, cracked walls, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. The signs of struggle were everywhere. "I want to make it right," he said. "I can't undo the pain I caused. But I'd like to offer you your job back. With back pay. And a raise." Angela gasped, tears welling in her eyes. Are you serious? Dead serious, he replied. You were one of the hardest working employees we had. I should have seen that. Lila beamed, hugging Pancake tightly. In the weeks that followed, Michael changed more than just one family's life. He returned to the office with a new mission. He restructured the restructure. He rehired others he had let go. He began a foundation within the company to support employees during hardship. And every Friday afternoon, he made sure to leave the office early, to visit Lila and Pancake in the park. They would laugh, share sandwiches, and talk about everything from school to puppy tricks. Angela, now managing a new department with pride, told him once during lunch, I thought the world forgot about people like us. But maybe, it just needed to be reminded. And the lesson lived on. In a world where decisions are often made by people too far removed from the impact, one little girl's quiet plea, "Please buy our puppy," had broken through. It reminded a powerful man that humanity matters more than profit margins. And in doing so, it gave a struggling family more than hope. It gave them a future. Message for viewers. Behind every hard decision, there are human lives. Sometimes all it takes is one small voice to remind us to lead with heart, not just with numbers.